Welcome. I'm your host, The Cloud. It's above me. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining me. I'm sending you positivity and great vibes, and I'm glad to have you, man. This is going to be our version of a sports talk, my version of a sports talk, man. I love sports. I watch all sports, watch football, basketball, baseball, MMA, boxing, tennis, golf, hockey. The list can go on. Um, and I just want to voice my opinions, share my opinions with y'all, hear some of y'all opinions, and just have some fun. So I'm not even gonna go too much into detail. Can I pop my shit? Well, as you can see, I'm a Browns fan, so we got to start off with the Browns. The Browns pulled off an amazing, crazy, whatever you want to call it, win out in Indianapolis, 39-38. Just starting from the beginning, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth game. Dustin Hopkins was the telltale for this game. Ended up kicking 4 field goals for the Browns, 2 extra points. Ended up with a lot of fantasy points for some people. And he really kept the Browns in this game. Myles Garrett was a terror. He does need to stop jumping off sides, but the man had 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, jumped over the line and blocked a field goal. The man is insane. He's over there fighting for that defensive player of the year. On the other end, Gardner Minshew, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. The Colts looked amazing. They fought the whole way. And to be honest, if it weren't for the rest of the Colts, walk out of there with that win. PJ Walker leads the Browns down for a game-winning drive. Deshaun Watson goes out of the game early with an injury, finishes the game with 1 completion, 5 attempts, 5 passing yards, 1 interception. Deshaun Watson has not looked good, but hopefully he can get back out there and perform next week. PJ Walker drove down the field, led the team to a game-winning drive, but that came with some controversy. 4th and 10, or 4th and goal, we should say. Browns just give up a lot of pressure. Colts come through and destroy PJ Walker. Then you see the flag, illegal contact on the Colts. Someone was holding Amari Cooper. So let's go 1st and 10, 1st and goal. And the Colts are going to fight. They're going to fight. The Browns are trying to get into that end zone. They're running the ball. And you get another flag, a pass interference on Donovan Peoples-Jones for the defense on a hold, on a pass that was completely uncatchable. But I ain't a ref. Like I said, that never happens in favor for the Browns, so I'll take it. Kareem Hunt ended up with the game-winning touchdown, and the Browns ended up pulling out the victory. Browns end up 4-2, and we are off to Seattle next week. Listen, the Browns offense needs to get it together. That defense is playing lights out there. They gave up a lot of points this week, first week in the whole season that they've given up this amount of points. But that comes with the territory when your offense is not rolling. The Browns offense needs to find their identity. Without Nick Chubb, without Deshaun Watson, they seem lost out there. So we got to find some way for the Browns to get moving. But always go Browns. All right, so let's take a trip to Upset City, where we have the Buffalo Bills taking a loss in a division game to the New England Patriots. Man, let me tell y'all, man, Buffalo really made me mad with this when they sold my Survivor pick. I had them winning this game. You never know what to expect with a division game. And the Pats have been looking god awful. So for them to come out and pull this out, that was really tough for them. But they needed that if they wanted to get their season back going. Mac Jones has looked awful. Their defense had looked awful. So this is a good sign for them to get back rolling. This is the same Bills team that beat the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. So we really never know what to expect within that division. It's making it look like it could be anybody's division. But hopefully we keep getting impressive football out of both of these teams. I guess we'll say the Patriots, but hopefully we keep getting impressive football. Stephon Diggs, he always is gonna get open. He dropped a questionable ball late, but he's still a dog. He's still a star. So that comes with the territory. So they'll bounce back from this, and we'll see what happens with Buffalo as they go on later into the season. See, now we got a little bit of a shocker here. The Lions and the Ravens. Now, I had the Lions covering 3 points. Ravens, a division rival. Ravens been looking okay. They looked shaky earlier in the season. They looked good versus Cleveland. They looked pretty decent last week. They lose versus the Colts. They lose versus the Steelers. So they lose them close games, and you really don't know what to expect. The Lions have been rolling, but they've been struck by a couple injuries lately, so we also didn't know what to truly expect with them. They were missing David Montgomery. They were starting Jamari Gibbs for the first time. I heard they had some linemen down, so you never knew what to expect. But Ravens completely smashed the Lions 38-6. Lamar Jackson, man, hey, he got paid that bag, and he's looking like he's the only quarterback who's worth all that money he's gotten right now. But hats off to Lamar Jackson. You know I love a black quarterback balling. Lamar Jackson is probably one of my favorite athletes to watch, aside from him being in our division and me hating us playing against him. The athlete Lamar Jackson is a freaking stud. So hats off to him. I'm glad to see he's balling. Hopefully he don't do that versus us. And hopefully they actually could lose a couple more games, honestly, because the Browns are starting to try to roll and get that division back. As far as the Lions, they gonna bounce back. That's just one game. They gonna get their people back, and they gonna get their footing back up under them. The Lions are a tough squad, man, and that's a sleeper squad. Y'all really need to pay attention to the Lions because they gonna make some noise. I'm telling you, and they cover. Remember that. All right, and last but not least, we have two of the most electric offenses in the league right now. We got the Dolphins and we got the Eagles. The Eagles came out pulling it off 31-17. They came out in them Kelly Greens looking good. That tush push is insane, man. It seems like nobody in the league can stop the tush push. Tyreek Hill had 11 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Brown went off. He had over 100. I want to say he had around 127, 137. And a touchdown. But that man was going crazy, man. And the Eagles, man, they continue to roll, man. Eagles are continuing to look like one of the premier teams in the NFC. Go figure, they were in the Super Bowl last year, man. What do you expect? Dolphins, they showed me something, man. They looked a little one-sided, man. They could not run the ball, and it seems like they only try to get the ball to Tyreek Hill. Go freaking figure. Why wouldn't you? But they got to figure out how to get them other weapons involved. Waddle got hurt, so that kind of put them into a little bit of a damper. But they got to be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively and get the ball out of Tua's hands and help create the offense a little bit more. As far as their defense gives up a lot of yards just primarily. And that's one thing I've been seeing as a continuing trend throughout the season. But we already know as the season continues to go on, those defenses tighten up. So we will see if that defense continues to either give up those yards or they tighten up. I got a lot of Dolphins friends. Who cares about the Dolphins? All right, so we're going to call this segment here Lost in Space. We got a lot of different ways you can lose an athlete in plenty of different sports. And some of these athletes get their ankles broken, they get hurdled, and they look lost. So we just going to put together some of our favorite clips for the week, and we going to see who really is lost in space. So our first clip we got comes from the Chicago Bears Oakland Raiders game. We got Dante Foreman. I'm going to call him Donta because it looks better when you say Dante Foreman. And we going to watch him lose somebody in space.
First and 15. Here he is again to work. Gets the edge. Goes up in the air.
Oh my goodness, man. Please run that back real quick. Just run that back.
First and 15. Here he is again to work. Gets the edge. Goes up.
Number 21 on the other team. What are you doing, blood? Put your head up when you're tackling. Y'all, look at this man. What is he doing? That man is lost in space. So this next clip comes from the Buffalo Bills New England Patriots game. And when I told y'all earlier, that boy Stephon Diggs, he's a problem. And he made a play late in that game that was insane. Let's watch.
Allen pulls the trigger, slide.
How do they not make that tackle? He was not ruled down. And I know y'all probably wondering, who got lost in space there? Are we not watching the same clip? Look at this. Look at where these two are. Now look at where he ends up. And look at where they end up. Those fellas are lost in space. Now our next clip is coming out of the Browns-Indianapolis Colts game. Now we did not have too many ankles taken this week, but we had a lot of people lost out here in space. And this is one of my favorite examples of the week of somebody just completely lost in space. Let's watch the clip.
The thigh injury is going to play as Ford breaks one.
And one more time.
The thigh injury is going to play as Ford breaks one.
What in the world was number 40 doing? That man stared at the ball carrier the entire way. He had the perfect angle. Look at where he is in relation to the ball carrier. Look at where this man is in relation to that ball carrier. Okay, cool, perfect. Now look at where he ends up. Isn't that insane? Lost in space. Our last clip here is coming out of the Arizona Cardinals Seattle Seahawks game. Seems like everybody was hurdling this week, and Quandre Diggs had to find that out the hard way. Let's look at the clip.
From the Seahawks 34-yard line.
Nice play call.
Pass underneath.
Man, what is going on? Seems like we got a lot of tackling with our head down this week, and that left our man Quandre Diggs lost in space. Every week, if you notice how dapper I've just become, every week I plan on ending the day with a salesman of the week. What do I mean by salesman of the week? Well, we have a lot of different NFL players getting bet on consistently, a lot of different NFL players on our fantasy teams, or it's just your favorite team and your favorite player. And we're going to see who sells the most or the worst throughout the week. And we're going to see who is our salesman of the week. So our inaugural salesman of the week goes to no other than Deshaun Watson for selling my fantasy football team and for making me have to chug 2 Smirnoff Ices, for finishing the game with 1 completion, 5 yards, a measly interception. Deshaun Watson, our salesman of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for Deshaun Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for our first episode. I appreciate everybody being here, watching this video to the end. If you made it to this point, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me in the comments, who is your favorite team? Who is your salesman of the week? Who is your salesman of the year? Who's selling your fantasy team? Who's balling? Who is your favorite player? Please leave a comment. I appreciate all comments. I hope everybody has a great week, and I will be back. Please stay tuned, and always remember, never forget, it's above me.